The legal battles surrounding former President Donald Trump have been a dominant feature in American politics, underscoring a broader struggle over accountability, justice, and the rule of law. Recently, New York Attorney General Letitia James emerged victorious in a monumental civil fraud case against Trump, securing a staggering $500 million judgment after an arduous 12-week trial. However, this victory is not the end of the story. Trump has made impassioned pleas for the judgment to be thrown out, invoking themes of national unity and even referencing figures like Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. But James, undeterred by political pressures or threats, remains resolute. Her response is emblematic of a larger fight against perceived abuses of power and an unwavering commitment to uphold justice. In this video, we delve deeply into the unfolding saga between Letitia James and Donald Trump. From the details of the fraud case to the broader implications for democracy and the judiciary, this story reveals the tenacity of those who seek to hold power to account. We'll explore the key players, the evidence presented, the legal arguments, and the ramifications of Trump's attempts to reverse the judgment. In doing so, we'll underscore why this case matters not just for New York, but for the integrity of the American legal system as a whole. The case against Donald Trump, a landmark victory. Letitia James' civil fraud case against Donald Trump stands as one of the most significant legal challenges the former president has faced. At its core, the lawsuit alleged that Trump and the Trump Organization engaged in persistent fraudulent practices to inflate the value of assets, securing favorable loans and insurance policies. This was no small undertaking. The trial lasted 12 weeks, with James' office presenting a mountain of evidence, including testimony from Trump himself and key figures within his organization. The crux of the case revolved around the falsification of Trump's personal financial statements. These documents were instrumental in misrepresenting the value of properties and other assets, painting a picture of wealth that far exceeded reality. Witnesses, including employees of the Trump Organization, corroborated the claims, exposing a pattern of deceit that spanned years. The judge's ruling reflected the gravity of these actions, imposing a $500 million judgment, a significant sum aimed at addressing the harm caused by Trump's fraudulent activities. Trump's response: appeals and political maneuvering. Unsurprisingly, Trump has not taken this judgment lying down. His legal team promptly filed an appeal, seeking to overturn or significantly reduce the penalty. The appellate court in New York, known as the First Department, responded by requiring Trump to post a $175 million bond to delay enforcement of the judgment. This move signaled the court's acknowledgement of the seriousness of the case, while providing a pathway for further review. Trump's appeal has been accompanied by a series of dramatic and, at times, unconventional actions. In a letter to Letitia James, Trump's legal team argued that the judgment should be vacated for the sake of national unity, invoking the spirit of historical figures like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. This appeal to patriotism and reconciliation has been widely criticized as a desperate and baseless ploy, especially given the clear evidence of fraud presented during the trial. John Sauer, a key Trump ally and likely future Solicitor General, authored the letter, which many perceived as veiled intimidation. The letter's tone suggested that James should reconsider her stance in light of Trump's potential return to power, a move that has raised ethical questions about the intersection of politics and the judiciary. Letitia James' defiance, a stern rebuff. In response, Letitia James' office delivered a pointed and unequivocal reply. Her deputy attorney general issued a concise, pithy letter dismissing Trump's demands. The letter underscored that this was a civil case, not a criminal one, and therefore had no bearing on Trump's potential presidency. Furthermore, it highlighted the absence of any legal precedent that would justify vacating a judgment of this magnitude simply because the defendant won an election. James' defiance sends a powerful message: the rule of law must prevail, regardless of political considerations. Her refusal to back down is not just about this case. It's about safeguarding the integrity of the legal system against those who would seek to undermine it for personal gain. The political implications: a broader battle for accountability. The legal confrontation between Letitia James and Donald Trump encapsulates a deeper, ongoing struggle within the fabric of American politics. On one hand, proponents of accountability and the unbiased application of the law emphasize the importance of ensuring that no individual, regardless of their status, is exempt from legal scrutiny. On the other hand, Trump's defenders argue that these legal battles represent politically motivated attempts to undermine a prominent political figure, casting the former president as a target of systemic bias. This clash highlights a central theme of Trump's post-presidency, a polarizing narrative of victimhood versus a call for justice. The stakes in this case go beyond the immediate financial implications. If the judgment stands and Trump is compelled to pay the $500 million penalty, it could establish a pivotal precedent for holding influential individuals accountable for financial misconduct, reaffirming the integrity of the legal system. Conversely, if the ruling is overturned or significantly reduced, it might reinforce the belief among critics that wealth and political clout can shield individuals from accountability, further eroding public trust in the judiciary. This case thus represents more than a legal dispute. It is a litmus test for the resilience of democratic principles. Future legal battles. The fight is far from over. As this high-profile case continues to unfold, it becomes increasingly clear that Letitia James and her colleagues are gearing up for additional legal challenges in their ongoing mission to ensure accountability. James has not only been vocal about her commitment to confronting Trump's policies and actions if he returns to political prominence, but has also laid the groundwork for potential legal scrutiny in areas like immigration, environmental protections, and financial regulations. These issues, which lie at the heart of national governance, promise to ignite fierce legal battles that could profoundly influence America's political and social landscape. This forward-thinking strategy is not limited to New York. Democratic attorneys general across the country, particularly in progressive states like California and Massachusetts, have joined forces to uphold principles of justice and equality at the state level. Their unified efforts reflect a broader determination to act as a counterbalance to any potential shifts in federal policies that might undermine rights, protections, or environmental safeguards. By stepping up to fill gaps left by federal inaction or regression, these state leaders play a pivotal role in championing the rights of marginalized and vulnerable communities, ensuring that state governance remains a bulwark against systemic inequalities. Moreover, this coordinated initiative highlights a broader ideological battle, the defense of democratic norms against potential encroachments by powerful interests. Letitia James and her allies are not merely contesting individual cases. They're setting a precedent that underscores the enduring importance of vigilance in a democratic society. Their actions remind the public that institutions dedicated to justice must remain steadfast and unyielding in the face of potential abuses of power, ensuring that the rule of law serves as a shield for the many, not a tool for the few. Through these relentless efforts, James and her counterparts are not only holding individuals accountable, but also strengthening the foundation of a democracy where transparency, fairness, and justice reign supreme. The ongoing legal battle between Letitia James and Donald Trump is about more than just a $500 million judgment. It is a test of the American legal system's ability to hold powerful individuals accountable. James' refusal to back down in the face of political pressure and intimidation demonstrates the resilience of those committed to justice. Her actions remind us that the rule of law is a cornerstone of democracy, one that must be defended against all threats. As Trump's appeals play out, the nation will watch closely, not just for the outcome of this case, but for what it signifies about the future of accountability in American politics. Will justice prevail, or will power and influence once again shield the wealthy from the consequences of their actions? Regardless of the final judgment, Letitia James' fight has already set a powerful example, showing that no one is above the law. Stay tuned for further updates on this case and other stories at the intersection of law and politics. The battle for justice is far from over, and the stakes couldn't be higher.